Welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders, a weekly talk show with local and national thought leaders on issues impacting the Black community. Now introducing our host, Miss Ann Marie Sorrell.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders presented by MIA Media Group. I am your host, Ann Marie Sorrell, and each week I will be joined by local and national thought leaders who will share their insight on issues impacting the Black community. Today's broadcast is made possible by our sponsors, the Florida Lottery and Florida Power and Light. Thank you to both organizations for partnering with us on our inaugural show. I'm excited to be joined by our special guest today who needs no introduction to many around South Florida, Ms. Verdenia Baker, Palm Beach County Administrator. As County Administrator, Verdenia, a certified financial manager, is responsible for administration of the policies of Palm Beach County Commissioners. She manages the daily operation of county government, which includes more than 6,300 employees and a budget of $4.4 billion. Verdenia serves a county population of more than 1.4 million residents. She collaborates daily with representatives of other jurisdictions, developers, private industry, civic and community organizations on issues of interest pertaining to county business. Ms. Baker holds a Master of Science degree in Public Administration, a Bachelor of Science degree in Rehabilitative Services, both from Florida State University. She has affiliation with several professional and community organizations and has received numerous national, state, and local awards. I'd like to welcome you, Ms. Baker, to our show today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. Well, we have quite a bit to talk about in a short period of time. And I would just want to say that, seeing your leadership firsthand, being a Palm Beach County resident, I thank you for all that you do. I thank you for your leadership at our county, especially in these very tough and unprecedented times. So we're going to kind of get right into our discussion today. We have a couple of different national and global issues at hand, in addition to all the things that you deal with on a daily basis before the pandemic, before protests. And so I just want to kind of get your insight on some of the things that are happening and how Palm Beach County is impacted, as well as how Palm Beach County is responding. So first, how has COVID-19 impacted Palm Beach County, and what measures have the county taken in response to the pandemic?
COVID-19 has significantly affected Palm Beach County. We have a very large population of elderly people here. So when it first hit us, it impacted our elderly community the most. And unfortunately, they were the most vulnerable, and we lost a number of our residents due to it, them being elderly with underlying conditions as well. The average age when we first entered this pandemic was roughly about 80 plus. We've moved along. We've educated our residents on, if you're safer at home, if you don't have to leave home, stay home, and went through a number of executive as well as emergency orders to have people stay at home and only allow essential businesses to be open. We did the face mask, strongly urging face masks. I think our elderly community has accepted that fact. And now I'm dealing with my millennials, as we all were in our younger days, me, not you. We thought we were just invincible. And so they're now having to face the fact that this virus is having an unusual impact on them. This virus causes blood clots, and those blood clots are blocking arteries. They're breaking off going into their brains or into their hearts. And so therefore they're having strokes and heart attacks and long-term impact, which we don't know what that is going to be. So my average age the other day, I was told, was 49. we lost a 37-year-old. And so we continue to push home the fact that you have to take care of yourself. You have to do the physical distancing. You must wear the face mask. You wash your hands and take the precautions necessary. Just because we're opening more businesses, restaurants, recreational type activities, if you don't need to go, don't go. Stay home. You're safer at home. So we're also broadening our testing areas. We all know that minorities are being hit disproportionate to others, and so we're actually doing pop-up testing in our communities. We're going into our neighborhoods that normally will not come out to go to testing sites. We actually set up testing sites, walk up as well as drive up in areas that we thought would be closer to those communities, but people have not come out to be tested. So I'm taking the test into them. And then we're also working on healthcare worker outreach program where we can hire people from within the community that people trust to go in and help get them interested in taking the test, not only for COVID-19, but the antibody test as well. So we'll know whether you've already been exposed and it just didn't have the devastating impact to you, and you've got the antibodies so that when it comes back, and we do believe it is going to reemerge, then you will have some type of protection. What level of protection, we're unsure, because this is a new phenomenon for all of us. So we are looking at our targeted areas. We do have housing that we can put them in hotel rooms if they can't isolate and need to be isolated. We work with their families because some people won't leave their families. So we try and educate them on how to take care of that person that's been exposed so that they don't expose the entire family.
That's really good. What about, as a follow-up question, can you talk about some of the economic initiatives? I know that there were some funding and grants for businesses, and then I believe there's some additional assistance for residents and for mortgage or rent or something like that. Can you talk a little bit more about the economic impact and response?
Absolutely. COVID-19 has had a significant economic impact to our community, the nation, the world. We had to shut businesses down in order to flatten the curve as far as the growth of this virus. So we did receive $261 million in CARES funds. We allocated those dollars out, roughly about $60 million to help restart businesses that were impacted as a result of emergency and executive orders. And so we opened our portal about 3 weeks ago. It closes on tomorrow at 11:55. So for your viewers that are located in Palm Beach County and own a business, please go to pbcgov.org to our Restart Business link. Click on it, go in, get signed up. If you're in the system by 11:59 p.m. tomorrow evening, we will still process your application. If you do not have a business tax receipt, the tax collector is willing to work with you, but you would need to get down there between today and tomorrow during working hours to get your business tax receipt. So go on her website, which is the tax collector for Palm Beach County. Go on her website. It will tell you specifically what type of documents you need to bring for her to process you immediately and get that information in. So we've got the Business Restart Program that's roughly about $60 million in there. We are looking for small businesses. We've got allocations within that $60 million for businesses that are 1 to 5 in employees, and then 5 to 25. We have another $10 million set aside for businesses that are 25 and over, but must be domiciled here in Palm Beach County. We also have dollars allocated for rental assistance. So if you lost your job and you need assistance, then we will also assist you with your rent. We will be rolling out at the end of the month a mortgage assistance program. But again, once we put that particular portal up, we'll have criteria. We already have criteria on board for the rental assistance. Go to pbcgov.org, click on those particular links. They will take you directly to the portal. It will provide you with the criteria you must meet in order to be eligible. Please read that so you don't waste your time if you're not eligible. But do not listen to others. Go to the website, look up the criteria, and apply. I can't help you if you don't apply.
Absolutely. So I'll repeat that website for everyone, www.pbcgov.com. That's pbcgov.com. And that's for the business assistance restart program, as well as the rental assistance program. And then stay tuned for the mortgage assistance program, correct?
That is correct. We're also doing some feeding programs. So that all of that information is on our website. And please, by all means, utilize the programs that we've got out. We know that people have had a very difficult time during the pandemic, and we want to try to help as much as possible.
Absolutely. In my minority communities, please, everyone in the Black community, minority community, please apply for the business grant. The deadline is tomorrow, 11:59. So please do that. So we're going to go into the next national, now global issue and response. The death of George Floyd has once again brought racism, police brutality, and systemic injustices to the forefront. In the midst of a pandemic at that. What is your response to this tragedy, Ms. Baker?
As the young kids say, I'm SMH, shaking my head. In disbelief that we are still fighting the same fight over and over again. It is 2020. We must all demand and work to end injustice. And it will take all of us, not one segment of our community, the entire community, to fight injustice. It's very uncomfortable for a lot of people to talk about racial issues, but we must be uncomfortable in order to move this forward. We've got to make change, and change comes about when we talk to each other and we better understand what the issues are. We've had this issue in the Black community for a very long time, where our Black and brown men, when they're stopped, and women, stopped by police officers that are maybe overzealous. Not all of them, the majority of them are not. Got a few that we need to weed out, and then we need to appreciate the others because they all work very hard at keeping us safe in our communities. They are part of our communities. They go to church with us. They are our family. They belong to organizations we belong to. They help mentor our kids. So we're not saying that the majority of our law enforcement are bad, not at all. What we're saying is the ones that are, they need to be moved out. They need to be better trained. We need a relationship with our law enforcement, and it's going to take both of us reaching across the aisle and pulling it together so that we don't ever have to face this again.
Absolutely. Do you think that this moment in time, because I see that it's pretty unprecedented. It's like everyone's waking up as a result of actually seeing the video and now saying, oh my God, we have to do something. Like, people have said that before, but we have so many more people now, not just locally, but from around the world, who's saying we got to do something. Do you think that this moment in time is going to actually really change the mindset, the behaviors, as well as push legislation and other types of systemic changes?
Yes. I have hope that Mr. Floyd's death will not be in vain. I see young people taking the lead and being responsible in organizing these protests for justice. I see and observe the diversity of protesters being Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. I see old, I see young. I see people taking their kids so their kids will have that experience. I actually wrote a letter to my staff and express my dismay at what's happening and my hope for the future that we're going to be able to work together. And also the fact that we're going to host town hall meetings on this particular issue. And so I believe that the time is now to actually watch a video, which was very, very disturbing, to see someone actually murdered right before your eyes, their life taken away. And it was senseless. It was senseless. And so I applaud the young people taking the lead for pushing this issue forward. And they've got the attention of all of us. They've got the attention of the world because the world has also joined in. And so I think the time is now to make the appropriate changes that need to be made. Some communities, and I believe Palm Beach County was one of them, started after Corey Jones was so close to home here in Palm Beach County. And so I know that the sheriff's office, along with the Boca Police Department and some of the other departments, have taken the first step toward eliminating the chokehold and making other changes within their department. Are we there yet? No, we're not. We've got a long way to go, but the steps have been taken, and I think now is the time for us to move this issue forward through dialogue and action.
Absolutely, I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. So I know we're short on a little time, but I want to get to a couple more questions. So you've been in public administration for a long time. How do you think your experience, expertise, and leadership has prepared you for these two?
I believe my experience and expertise, really, nothing could have prepared me for what right now. I've dealt with anthrax, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, etc. Nothing to this level. But that particular experience, God's guidance, because I pray for that every single day that He guides me, and well-trained staff and staff that supports me, a community that supports me. And I think that is how we're getting through this particular issue, having compassion for those less fortunate in our community. And so every day is a new experience. And so we do the very best that we can do with input from those that are being impacted, and we then develop the best programs we can. We make them nimble enough that when we find a new challenge, we're able to quickly pivot and then take the appropriate steps.
Absolutely. Well, I commend you for your leadership. I want to see if we had any questions we definitely have had some comments. And so thank you for everyone who's made a great and positive comment. I didn't see any questions specifically. So if we don't have any questions from the audience, I want to ask you, this is again, an unprecedented time, and some people are having different challenges with whether it's losing their jobs or just adjusting with being home. And what's a golden nugget that you can leave with our audience as a takeaway? And I do believe we have one. Oh no, it's just another comment. Someone saying that no one has been better prepared to lead Palm Beach County than you, Verdenia. So that's from Mark Foley, Honorable Congressman Mark Foley. So I want to just ask you to leave our audience with a golden nugget that they can take with them in their day-to-day lives as they're going through these different challenges, whether it's emotionally and mentally dealing with the constant challenges of racism and injustices while dealing with the pandemic. Some have lost loved ones, some have lost their living, their income. So what nugget can you leave with our audience?
You're not alone. You're not going through this alone. And so don't suffer in silence. Reach out. Go on our website, Palm Beach County website. We've got a variety of programs. If you're dealing with, depression, because you're home and you can't get out, or you're having challenges with the kids, we've got different programs on our website that you can reach out. We've got our emergency information center, and you can give those individuals a call. They will put you in touch with the right agencies to assist you as much as possible. You can also dial 211 is another resource in Palm Beach County that you can reach out to. They too will be able to provide you with input and actually refer you to an agency that can assist you with whatever your challenges may be. I think that you have to look to a higher being than yourself. And of all things, love yourself. Don't depend on anyone else to love you. Love yourself, and that will take you a very long way.
Absolutely. We will take one. We have, and I'm going to wrap these into two questions, these into one question. Any assistance for nonprofit organizations through the funding? And are you coordinating with the Supervisor of Elections to avoid any issues like as seen in Georgia recently from a voting standpoint?
We have not. We are considering nonprofits. We just haven't gotten to that program as of yet. I've got staff doing some research on how we should structure it. We have thousands of nonprofits in Palm Beach County, and so we're going to need to balance how we roll a program out. But we are definitely researching and looking into creating some assistance for nonprofits, because we know that they are they're having challenges, financial challenges as well. Your last question was
about coordinating with the Supervisor of Elections for to ensure that the elections run smoothly in August and November.
Absolutely. I am in constant contact with our Supervisor of Elections. Last year, we bought new voting equipment so she would have in place. I provide staffing to the Supervisor of Elections to make sure that we're moving forward and we don't have the lines that Georgia experienced. We will also have voting in advance. We actually worked with the Supervisor of Elections so that we could send out absentee ballots with return stamped mail, so that you don't have to pay for stamps in order to send your ballot back to the Supervisor of Elections. So for those individuals, and I know that she is gearing up for major mail out of ballots, voting by mail. She's going to be prepared, and we're going to give her all of the assistance that she needs in order for it to be successful here in Palm Beach County.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Baker. I know you have to run to probably a ton of other meetings today. So we really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to join us for Lunch with Legacy Leaders. You are truly a legacy leader in Palm Beach County, and anything that we can do at Legacy and MIA Media Group to continue to support you, we would love to have you back on in the future for other updates. Just please let us know how we can support you and the efforts that you're doing in Palm Beach County.
Thank you so very much, and thank Legacy for all that you do for our community. You are very much appreciated.
Thank you. So we're going to go just to a couple of announcements before we wrap up our show. Next week, we will start taking nominations for the 40 under 40 issue for Legacy Miami and Legacy South Florida. The Legacy political issue, which is going to be a special issue, will be coming out. It's going to be published on June 24th. You can pick that up in the Miami Herald as well as the Sun Sentinel. So please pick that up on June 24th. You can also access the issue on June 24th on miamediagroup.com, which is also where you can submit your nomination for someone who's dynamic, who's under 40, whether you're in Miami, Palm Beach, or Broward County. Please submit your nomination starting next week, and please pick up your issue of Legacy on June 24th. Thank you all for joining me today. Next week, we will be joined by Broward County Sheriff Greg Toney. I'm really looking forward to hearing what he has to say about all the things that are happening, how he has to do a very tough job, especially in this climate. So please tune in next week and mark your calendars for every Thursday at noon. Thank you all for tuning in.